And hello, Visual Roonies. Welcome back to the Visual Goo podcast.
Exactly.
And it's just, it's another typical. I guess technically, if we wanted to, I don't know why we didn't really. I don't know why. Yeah, this is a good old Visual Guys ramble on as well, visuals. But I was thinking to myself, why haven't we gone for the other shows? Like, I guess technically we could have done a weekly Boba Fett roundup because it would have been quite fun because me and you don't really know the character as well as Star Wars fans or whatever usual shenanigans ramble on. But yeah, we're too late for that anyway because we're already 3 episodes in.
Yes. Well, I've got some fun, interesting history for you.
Oh, some fun, interesting history.
Yeah. As soon as I found out, I thought, what the fuck? I thought it was quite funny.
Oh, well, I've got, before you get into that then, I have just 2 bits of business to address. No, I won't take your time up. As soon as you got some cool history, I'm kind of intrigued now, you little freak. I'm supposed to bring up again because I told you about the conspiracy guy at work.
Yes.
And I told him all about, having a conversation. I told him that, my mate wouldn't like you very much because he fucking loves dinosaurs and you're claiming that they're not real and shit. Then he turns around and says, well, tell you, mate, they're not real, but there are dinosaurs still alive today. And I was like, what a contradiction. But apparently dinosaurs still live inside the Hollow Earth. So if you want to go see it, Chris, if you want to go see a Velociraptor or a T-Rex, but apparently you can't call it Hollow Earth. He did say its real name. This guy, right, he has the best comeback, right, because he believes in flat earth and that he goes to me and say, do you really believe in flat earth? Do you know what his response always is? Do you not? and apparently, right, so yeah, dinosaurs didn't exist, but they are still alive.
Yeah.
And they're underneath us now.
Okay. Because
the flat earth is like this, and then underneath that bit, this is where the second sun and everything is, and Godzilla vs King Kong. That's real, Chris, mate. Okay, so the T-Rex down there. Hello. For whatever reason, it's not burning up by there. Oh no, tell a lie as well. Sorry. And I will give him some props here though, right? Not that I believe it, because I don't believe it. See, if you do Google right now though, is gravity fake? The only things that come up is articles saying why it's fake. There's nothing saying no, gravity is not fake. It's a real.
Yeah. Well, it's a hard thing to prove.
Well, not really. My mate, there's a lad at work who's he's smarter than he'll probably let on. He give a perfect thing about how gravity is real and density of stuff and how heavy certain things are and that. And the other lad says, well, if you chuck someone up in the air, it's going to fall back down because you give it momentum. But then I said to him, what about this? I didn't give it any momentum. I just let go and it got pulled down. What pulled it down? And apparently,
gravity.
See, yeah, I said gravity, but apparently it's a force of a different nature, which is because if I was to do this there, but then do this there on top of water, it would float. Don't look confused if you're going to start signing away gravity, because I believe in gravity. Gravity is a real thing. So yeah, but like it's kind of hard to argue because I'm a fucking moron. I can't get behind the science of it all. But then all you get is, you listen to BBC, so you need to actually look out, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, the dinosaurs are in there, and gravity isn't real. But yeah, Google it later, mate, and you'll be like, well, what the fuck?
Dinosaurs did exist, because there's fucking millions and millions of evidence to prove that. It is on the point where they are still around today, yes.
Yeah, chickens and pigeons.
Exactly, birds, crocodiles, the sharks, they're all around from the dinosaur side of things. Gravity, obviously, it was designed by the guy who dropped the apple on his head. Well,
yeah, he was the one that came up with the hypotheses at first, wasn't he?
Yes.
Newton. The apple fell on his head.
Yes. Gravity and water, it's completely different.
Well, like I said, it's all about density and weight and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
And obviously, because inside water, you still have, it's not air, like obviously H2O, you still have something in the middle keeping it up.
Earth is weirdly specific in a perfect spot where we're getting warmth, cold, gravity. It's too perfect, in fact.
Yeah.
Earth, where Earth is, and any slight alter of how things go, the fucking Earth will just blow. The Earth will just implode.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would implode. It would definitely corrode. Because obviously if we're taken too far away from the sun, then we're fucked. If we're taken too far away from the moon, then we're fucked and whatnot. So no, yeah, gravity does exist.
And what's holding us down is it is a force field, but we don't feel a force field because we're born with it.
Well, to be fair, we do feel it because if we were to go anywhere else, like a high density room, we would feel it when you can, like basically, that if there's a force, like when you're the things we go and you feel weightless, or they go in them aeroplanes where they do all the loop to loop and it feels like
the aeroplanes, there's a special thing where they get rid of all the gravity, so that's why you float out.
Yeah, that's why you'd feel, because the best way to describe this is in Dragon Ball Z. They're on normal gravity, but they go into a place, a training room where they can turn the gravity up, and when they come out of it, they feel stronger and more powerful because they've been fighting a stronger gravity. So when they get to this gravity, it's weird. So if we take ourselves out of situations, we will feel different forms of gravity. But ultimately, the point is there is gravity.
It's why when people go to space, 9 times out of 10 they'll come back a little bit shorter than they are. It's because their body's used to floating about. Yeah. And as soon as they come back, weight gets pushed onto their shoulders. Yeah. That's why they go into the chamber to practice all this shit before
there is a force.
There is a force.
And he always says about how the Earth being flat, why does everything go level? Which is true. Water always finds its level and all that kind of shit. It's like, why is it called level and stuff? And like I said, I can't get behind the science. I can't tell you where, no matter where on the Earth, the water is always flat, but it's the gravity keeping it all in.
Yes, it's how again, it's when it comes to the water, when it comes to the sea, it's the moon. The moon controls the sea.
It controls the tides.
Yeah. And if that blew up, then we'd have fucking disasters with the water.
We would indeed. It would be fairly fucked. And then his final one is, because I've put a bet on him with this one. The Queen's already dead, okay? She's been dead for 2 years.
And apparently she's a lizard person, is she?
It didn't really get into that, but she got killed and chopped out the Buckingham Palace for being a nonce. Okay?
What?
I know. And apparently there's an uprising coming where the free world is eventually going to take over. And as well, I keep doing that. He keeps going, that satanic stonemason shenanigans. I'm like, it's fucking Spider-Man. But apparently there's going to be an uprising. Donald Trump's leading it because he goes, what's your views on Donald Trump? I was like, I don't really care. He makes me laugh every now and then because he's mental. And he's like, well, no, he's the one that's going to lead the charge for the free world and everyone taking over. When all these people take over, apparently everybody in the world's going to be rich. I was like, well, tell them to fucking hurry up then. But apparently when the fake queen officially dies, it's going to be an 11-day blackout where we'll have no power, we can't send texts or whatever. So I says, right, okay, as soon as this fake queen dies, I'm going to text you, right? And if that text goes through, you owe me 20 quid. So we'll see. When the queen dies, not that I want you to hurry up, love, but I kind of want to see if I can win this bet. Well, I'm going to send you a text.
Fair enough of the queen dying, which is fair enough. But why does he think she's fake?
Because she was a nonce, so they kicked her out and killed her 2 years ago.
So who's replaced her then? Because it's the same person 2 years ago.
An extremely high definition clone. Kind of like, the
Avril Lavigne crack.
Yeah, and the Paul McCartney crack. Apparently he died way back, and this whole time it's been a clone and yada 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 yada. He's like, well, how's she lived for so long? I was like, well, she's probably been looked after. You don't say this about the random Chinaman that's 104 right now, do you? You're just saying it about the Queen because she's the
oldest fucking World War fucking one veteran. Only died last week.
I seen that black lad.
Yeah, 112 or something.
Yeah.
So people can live from an age.
Yeah, it's fairly
doesn't
fucked.
mean they're gonna fucking duplicate.
It's
or lizard.
It's fucked, mate.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last piece of business is not conspiracy related, because I want to get to what you're about. I do have the potential for us to have an office space, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and it's with my... I won't say his actual name because he doesn't want to mention blah, blah, blah. It's Bean, who I work with. I can say Bean because you can't Google Bean and go, oh, that's him. You just get a picture of Bean. He you know that he wheels and deals to sell cars and that. He has, and again, I won't say the location. He has a small, I don't know what the best place to call it, a place where he keeps to sell cars. I think he says you can only hold like 3 or 4 cars in there at a time, but he's got an office, and he says you can either, just chip in with the rent, we'll either sort that office out for you, or we can build something upstairs and put a partition in, reinforce the floor, and away you go, that whole top bit's yours, and it's literally, I can point because it's literally right there. So we could, if it was all to work out, we can go in. He says, come down on the weekend, check out, see if it's any good to you, because it might not be any good. But he says it'd be like inside this. We can have it upstairs. I can get one of the joiners from work to come and just say, here's a couple quid, stick up a wall there, and then that'll be the whole top covered, reinforce the floor. and then we can just sit and plaster how we want it to look and have everything set up. And
that'd be interesting.
And they're less distracted. Because obviously, it still gets wrong. It's fun every now and then. I'm sure people get a giggle when you sat listening and all of a sudden you hear, my glasses in there. Or you hear the church bells.
Yeah.
I think the church bells is the last podcast. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, the only thing is, obviously, I said to her how chip out rent because I'm not expected to do it for free. Unfortunately, nothing else come free.
No.
So let's see how much it wants and whatnot. But it might help because then we can get proper set up. And because I told you, we didn't do it today. I told you there's a way that we can. I've got so much lighting here now. Remember when we first started, lighting was a fucking issue.
Yes.
I've got lighting beyond our wildest dreams. I can put a lighting attachment on this. I can put a lighting attachment. I've got like fucking 6 different tripods now. Got the big spotlights. I've got single thing like. If I don't know if you do it with your phone, I can give you a tripod, me a tripod, give you your own ring lights and spotlight. Me and we just shit and we'll record, and then I can get the images from your phone onto here, and I can overlap. It will be a normal Joe Rogan podcast apart from a constant skip. It'll just be me and you constantly.
Yeah.
So if you wanted a more visual.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing. I don't know how if you would be able to or not, because obviously I've only got the one recording device.
Yeah. So your iPhone's a dodgy when it comes to
That's why
Android.
That's why I hate iPhone. They're too closed off to themselves. Whereas he'll go to any fucker.
Yeah.
But iPhone's like no. If you haven't got an I in your name, they're racist. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
They're racist. That's why I will never go anywhere. That's why I will never go back on Nokia because they started turning very Nazi and communist. Where it was no. Oh, couldn't download Pokemon, could I?
No.
So I thought, do you know what?
It was weirdly for Nokia.
Yeah, it's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So I fucked off that, and I'm only going for phones that will embrace all. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can. I'm sure, and as well because the footage will be what an average half an hour to an hour long. I don't know how you would send it if you could. How long it would take. Editing it, get it together would take me 2 minutes. It's fine. I can edit with hours upon hours of footage, but it's you recording and sending it over. And then we can have it. We
can sort all that. We can get this sorted, and then we can sort all this. Even if we have to buy some camcorders. Camcorders are cheap nowadays.
Yeah, but then that means it will be doing the editing and putting together through a computer system.
You've got a computer, haven't you?
Oh no, it was a piece of shit. Like I said, I didn't know what I was buying. You're the tech guy. You know what I mean? I just thought,
you just bought it.
That laptop, that'll do. That's fine. Do everything. It was just pure shit and awful.
I thought it all is.
It's got another fucking sock. But yeah, there'll be less of this. We can go. I'll have the keys. We can go whenever we want because he only does his dealerships of the cars mostly for the day. Yeah. I says, well, it doesn't matter. We can easily go for a couple of hours thingy. He's never there through the week. So if we wanted to, for like Tuesday night, Wednesday night, be like, hey, do you want it? Yeah, fucking go down. Yeah. We can thingy there. He's got water there, so we can make coffee and shit.
Nice.
We can have our own little actual office. Like I said, he's a pal, so he won't ask much, and it's doing him a favour just to have him out a little bit with the rent for his dealership.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have a look. Get aside. We'll have a look, see.
Anyway, that's just the housekeeping done. Chris says he has some weird bit of history.
I do. I came across it yesterday, and it had me in hystericals.
What, real life history?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. The Australians of all the people as well.
All right, so a history from Australia.
The history of Australia.
Right. Okay.
It happened in 1932. A war. It's a war. In Australia. It was just over a month of war.
Right, so there was a month war in Australia in 1932.
Yes.
Right.
Where it was humans.
Oh no, against rattlesnakes.
Emus.
Against the
emus won.
The emus won?
Even though 20,000 emus died, bless them, the humans all had weapons and everything else. The emus won the war.
How did they win the war?
I do not know. It's just...
What?
Yeah, it was something to do about land.
They were fighting over land?
Yes.
And the emus actually fought, instead of running away thinking, I was scared, they thought, fuck you.
Well, a lot of them did get killed off, but they still won the war. It's called the Emu War.
Explain how they won the war.
Right, well, let me just Google this.
This is, I have so many, did they win because of sheer numbers? Did they win because the humans were, I don't know, ran out of resources, killing loads, but being like, shit, there's still loads of them. How did this come about? Australians versus the emus.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
25 emus died over farmland.
Still fighting over farmland.
Yeah.
And were the humans in this massive population before humans did anything, or did the humans overbreed them or out like that?
Well, emus have always been popular in Australia, haven't they?
Right.
And
So,
still are to this day.
but as in just genuine wild or by human breeding, like you know how we've multiplied certain other species because we've mass produced for their meat and shit.
Probably.
So it was human intervention.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Bloody hell, mate! It's a fucking emu. Imagine the emus come to town. Bloody pong guys. Greg, what are you doing?
Yeah, basically, a lot of emus just started hooking. Well, obviously, everyone was up during the war and stuff, and then the emus started hooking, producing
more and more babbies.
Yes, and basically, the humans decided to go to war with them, and they lost.
Does it say how they lost though? I'm so confused because right, if you're telling me a human's coming in because what 1932, so there'll be some decent guns then. They're coming in with guns, and the emus have just stood there, probably eating a bit of fucking dry grass because everywhere's hot over there. What the? How did? I can't fathom it.
Maybe it was just overpopulation.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of was the fact that maybe the humans had used so many resources trying to get rid of the emus, and it didn't work. They thought, shit, we've used up too many resources here. We better leave it.
Yeah, basically, there was that many emus about.
So it is what I said.
Yeah, there's so many emus about that it kind of. They didn't. Right. Okay. Like so, I was fascinated when I found out this.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
Okay. Well, what's your questions? What's your first question?
Well, the first question, which I think you've just answered, was what I said about how the humans lost.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So obviously they went to war.
Yeah.
The emus populated.
Yeah.
So when they came back, there was like too many of them. Okay.
Right.
So the Australians decided to go to war against the emus. Weirdly.
For a solid month.
Just over a month. And the reason why they won is because the Australians ran out of resources.
So it's just what I just said, right? Okay.
Yeah. They ran out of resources.
Because that would make sense.
And all that stuff. So they couldn't really do anything else apart from just let them roam.
We'll punch them to death. Not that I want emus to get punched to death, but if you're in a war, you know, it's either the emu or me, lav.
So yeah, that's why the emus won the war. It's called the Emu War.
I wonder if there's some sort of emu that's alive now, like back in my day, son.
Back in 1932.
The humans came, they fought, but they couldn't beat us. We fucking got them. We saved Sydney. We got Sydney back. I actually don't know where it would. I assume it'd be out in somewhere wild.
I'm guessing so.
Tasmania. That's the first wild place I can think of in Australia. So you know, there's an emu war.
There's an emu war. Well, there was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Us humans are weird. I mean, so what damage were they causing? Like, what does an emu?
Like crops.
Right. So they're eating all their crops.
Yeah, eating all the crops. Just destroying, obviously, with the herd of them, just destroying the woods. The population, the resources, just destroying stuff that animals destroy, hence that one there. Yeah,
there should be a war on Optimus. He's ripping up his bed. Luckily, that's why it's his bed blankie, so we can do that. We don't have to go, he's ripping up the bed sheet. I don't know why we'd be Australian. You've got me in the little mode. Wow, that is interesting, Chris. That is extremely fucking bizarre. I don't understand.
This shows that we'll go to war about everything and anything, though, isn't it? We are a special breed.
We are.
As humans.
The Emu War in Australia. The Emu War of 1932.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that, Chris.
Just over them.
I feel enlightened, and that is going to be a genuine fact I'm going to tell people. But like, my mate told me this, and they'll be like, nah, bullshit. I say, fucking Google it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, fucking flat earth guy. See what he says.
Like, no, you're lying, it can't happen. Hey, because that was well done, Chris, by the way. That was beautiful. Do you know what? Where did I hear it? It was on a video somewhere. You know when people say I don't believe in aliens, right? I personally believe in aliens. I know me and you have differences in our beliefs. I believe they've never been here. But I think you believe they've been here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's besides the point. I do believe there's aliens out there.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, I can't be aliens, never aliens. Listen to this for a metaphor. This metaphor is fucking beautiful. We know that the space and that is just vast and never ending and blah, 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 ever expanding, right? So to say there's no aliens is exactly the same as getting a teaspoon, going to the sea, picking up some water, going back onto land and saying there's no such thing as sharks because there's no sharks in my teaspoon. Because we know that there's sharks all over that ocean, but because we've took a little bit and took it over here and there's no sharks here, we're going, oh, no, can't be such a thing as sharks, there's none here. But you're ignoring all of this vast. No. How mint is that for a metaphor?
That's a good metaphor.
That's a beautiful metaphor.
And it does make sense.
Yeah. That is, I heard it and I thought, wow.
But yeah, like so, we've not even touched the surface of what we've explored.
But I just love that. I fell in love with it when I heard it. I thought, see, next, because you can't really argue that then. You can't be like, well, actually, yeah.
I was watching some the other day. It was just a quick snippet of Professor Brian Cox.
And his soft talking, yes.
Soft talking.
Professor Brian Cox.
I like Brian.
You know, the neutron hadron collider. You know, we can make atoms. You know, and you're just like that. Keep talking. Not falling asleep about boredom. Just like it's like getting a nice massage. So you're just like, yeah, I'm listening. I couldn't take a lecture off him. I'd have to fucking have. Fucking thingy pills. He would be the worst thing to have if Freddy Krueger was alive, because all you'd want to do is listen to him and fall asleep, and then Freddy Krueger's going to kill you. So Freddy Krueger's ever real. Don't go anywhere near Professor Brian Cox. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Basically, they've now discovered a galaxy that's 400 light years away, which is fixed. Basically, it's 4 billion miles away, and it's a cluster of galaxies, like fucking there's tens upon thousands, possibly even millions.
Right.
And they only picked it up recently with one of the new big fucking hydro telescopes. And you stink.
Because you farted.
Yes.
His farts are lethal, aren't they? You'll be sat chilling out and all of a sudden it'll punch you right in the face and you go, oh! Out of nowhere.
Dirty bastard. And there's potential life on other planets, like Earth.
Right.
It's like they're far too out there for us to visit.
Yeah.
But there's basically not just one Earth. There could be thousands of other Earths just out there exactly like this. So
it's not hard to believe.
No.
It's not hard to believe.
Yeah.
I completely get behind that. That's why I believe there is aliens, but they're the aliens are in the same position as us. I reckon that somewhere out there, there's other people going, well, if you look at this, they must have been here. And they're like, well, no, how they can vast, far away. I think we're all having the same conversation, so far away from each other.
We've definitely been visited. There's definitely people smart out there. Just it's too big for it just to be us.
Hence my metaphor. That's why it makes well, not my metaphor. I heard it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's why that metaphor makes so much. Just because there's no sharks in your little teaspoon of the water, doesn't mean the rest of the water doesn't have all this shit in. Fucking minute, fucking boiler. There'll be no boiler if we got this office. Well, we could definitely have the office. That's not the issue. We can 100% have it.
Is there a heater?
I don't know.
You're not call that.
I'm not sure. I know. Yeah, you are. Just bring a jumper.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, he says come down and I can have a look and whatnot. And to be honest, he did say he said we don't have to put anything up. If we don't want, we can have his main office. But it just means every time a sale comes round and he brings them in, doing the paperwork shit, we'd have to move all of our shit out. And I thought, well, ideally we want to decorate and have like a backdrop and shit.
Yeah.
So we don't really want to be doing that, but at the same time, he doesn't want to be selling cars when there's a big Pikachu stood right behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I says, if there's any way we can get, but he says you can have upstairs. There's not an issue. I need to check what weight you can take. I weigh 130 kilograms, so we need to make sure it's reinforced for some capacity.
130 kilograms. That's fucking daft.
It's mental. I weigh 2 of some people at work.
Last time I weighed myself was a couple of years ago, right? And I was 80.
80?
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, you skinny bitch. You know, but that's what I like it though. I'm like a rugby player. I've got a broad centre, slow as fuck, but I've got a broad iron defence. I like it. I like being a chunk. But like I said, I'm more wide than I am fat. I'm chunky as fuck. Don't get us wrong. I don't know. I'm not arsed. I'll die someday. Fuck it. That attack probably this time next week.
We all die eventually.
Really, exactly, mate. That's why. That's why this afterlife show kind of gets you, because Ricky. Ugh, he has a beautiful German Shepherd in it, and it's like the only thing he's living for.
I might be getting another dog.
Oh, what kind?
Well, it might be another lab.
Oh, right. Okay.
Lexi is getting lined next year, and with another. Actually, it's a past cousin.
Right. Okay.
So keeping it in the family. So it's the Oliver breed. So it's going to be
keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that'll be friggin' awesome.
So
just got to be careful that Ozzy doesn't get jealous.
True.
Because obviously he's had over a year of just you and him.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. He seems like such a good-natured dog. He seems so well, but like another dog comes into his space and you're giving him just as much. You might be thinking, "Well, that's my daddy, mate, not yours." But then again, it might be that for a little bit, and then it might coexist. You never know. Hopefully, though.
Does he go for a boy or for a girl this time? We'll see.
Wow. Depends if you were to get them spayed or not. You're gonna have to go for a boy if they're not spayed. Because it only takes a sec for him to latch on quickly, jizz, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a granddad." Yes. And then you don't get us wrong, that's a nice problem to have, but it's an awful problem. Maybe not for you, for me. If he turned around, we had a girl dog, and she was pregnant, and we had like 9 puppies sat there, but like, they go nowhere. They're all my family. And I've got all these 9 dogs. If it's bad enough, we just need them ripping shit apart. I'd be fucked.
Better sell them though.
Yeah, you'd be able to sell them, but I couldn't.
Sell for money.
Like, how weird and bizarre is it, the fact that like if you had a wife now and you had 4 kids and suddenly suddenly somebody comes in and goes, "Oh, look at this little Benjamin, we'll have him when he's been jabbed up and that, we'll have him." Whoa, what do you mean? Okay, come on then. And all your kids and their siblings and shit are all going to take away, and you're like, "That's my family." Well, we do that to these dogs. We force them to fuck, which I'm assuming they don't really care about because they like to feel good. But then the mother bursts them all. They have these kids, maybe 1 or 2 die, which is fucking heartbreaking. And they have this nice little litter. She's milking them and that. Slowly, one by one, they're all going. Like, surely she's not thinking, "Where the fuck are my kids going?" And we're breaking apart this family. It's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, but...
Especially when they're packed animals. We've manipulated them to feel like they're...
Dogs have a memory just as bad. They don't really... After so long,
they won't
realise that that's their kids.
I know what you mean, that they'll forget and they won't realise, but it's the principle of it, the thing the fact that we can go into another species and manipulate how their kids go, what the kids look like, because if we wanted to, we can...
It's like any species.
I know, it's mental.
Yeah, it's against a lot of humans doing it.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's weird where it comes to it's illegal for humans to do things, but it's alright for animals.
Yeah.
Like, we could put an animal down because it was violent or it's ill or whatever. But if I was ill or if I was vegetabled, and I wanted to put it down, no, it's not. It's illegal. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was, euthanasia. Yeah, it's weird as fuck, man. It's like we've already asserted our intellectual dominance because we rule the earth. It's like we need to prove it even more by being like, you want kids, we're going to make you have kids. We're not even going to make you fuck. You know, like some of the horses that fuck and they put that thing in it. He was like, "Oh, we just got off with this mint bird." Not really, mate. I basically give you a hand job in a cup. It's like, gee, what the fuck are we doing? And again, some of it though, like, me and yourself are a part of like meat industry and whatnot, like Vale. That's horrible, that, mate. Chained up babies so the meat's tender. You know what I mean? I did that to a bunch of little kids down the street. See, I genuinely actually won't eat it. I'll only eat regular, normal beef. I won't eat that because I know that it's baby cow. At least let it have a bit of a fucking life before I get my triple XL bacon double cheese. You know what I mean? It's...
See, I can't see that because I shoot.
No, but even that though, to some regards, because some hunting like Joe Rogan does, it can be done out of pest control or population
Fair,
control and whatnot.
These are controlled populated. They breed for so long, and then they get put in the wild, and then we shoot them.
Yeah, and then they get eaten.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. I just don't understand the trick, like Kraven the Hunter from Spider-Man. I'm always going to bring it back.
Oh yeah,
trophy hunting. I don't. Yeah,
I don't condone them poaching. People who go over to Africa just to shoot a fucking tiger or a lion or an elephant or killing off the fucking.
And I understand
rhinos.
this is a modern way of thinking because we've so far secluded ourselves from where our meat actually comes from. We just go, there's a burger and chips. But whereas back in the day. Is it Ruby? Back in the day, I probably, because women back in the day wouldn't give two fucks about an animal because it'd be just like, I need to eat.
Oh yeah, we're still contradicting ourselves where there's no way we'd do it, but we're eating animals.
And it probably doesn't help when we started making animals part of the family, pets and whatnot, because then you've got an instant connection with. If you never had a connection with an animal whatsoever, me and you probably would eat a fucking dog. We would just see it in the wild with our bow and arrow and be like.
Certain cultures do, don't they?
To be fair though, they've clamped down a hell of a lot on it.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot less now.
There's even horse and other animals that shouldn't be eaten.
Yeah.
Clamped down a hell of a lot.
Fucking me.
But you still got cultures where they still do.
Yeah, and at what point? I mean, I am completely against it, but because it's part of their culture, at what point can you not do anything because it's part of their culture and it's in their country and their lands?
There's cannibalisms in certain countries, and it's like, where do you draw the line there? Because it's their culture, it's what they know. If you fucking, they don't know this world. They've always lived off sticks and stones and fucking
breaking bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, that's why I don't get how different cultures have different cuisines.
Yeah, killing a human to them, it's a normal thing.
Yeah, and then going back to the vegetarian stuff, going back to like the veggies and stuff, right? How mental is it that they'll sit and protect stuff, but like say there's an animal out there that we are allowed to kill and eat, like a bear, for example. We are over in America, and that you are. If they went into a wild and they're like, no, don't kill the bear, leave it alone. The bear wouldn't give two thoughts if it was hungry enough to attacking her and killing her.
Yeah. Well, there's been stories about people protesting, trying to protect the other wildlife, and they've ended up getting killed themselves.
Yeah, it's mental. Which, like I said, I do get. I do understand. Like, what's the big one? What's the big one over in America? The mountain lions. Joe Rogan goes on about a lot, doesn't he? Yeah. And he says that they need sorting out.
Hogs.
Yeah, he's mentioned them. They go over the helicopters and there.
Yeah. It's good. I enjoy it. I enjoy shooting and stuff.
See, I personally, again, even though I've got not really against you doing it, I wouldn't be able to go do it. Leave him alone.
Like I'm all up for protecting animals and stuff like that, but like I say, how we do things, or how I do things, it's all under controlled thingy. So you still got the population. You're not reducing anything because you're kind of balancing it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't look at any. I feel bad if I kill an insect. That's why I don't kill like spiders and that never die.
I kind of feel a bit more harsh when it comes to Bambi.
When it comes to Bambi.
Yeah.
I always just think of it like, imagine this little deer of mine in its own business. Well, bam, dead. More like, yeah, Johnny, we got to know the wall. You know what I mean? It's mental as fuck.
Okay.
So again, see you. I'm gonna fucking shoot you. I'll tell you what. I'll just bludgeon you to death.
Fucking feed him to the Chinese.
Yeah, do you want to go to Chinese?
I'll make you a curry out of you.
The Chinese have curries?
Well, no, because technically curry is English.
Yeah, but isn't... I know it's made in England, but isn't it not more associated with India? Or is there a Chinese curry? This is where I'm actually genuinely asking a question.
Yeah.
Because obviously India's the big curry place, isn't it?
India's the curry place.
But there is a Chinese curry.
There is a Chinese curry.
Ah, right, okay. So again, I like pizza and chips.
But technically, if you go to China or Thailand or wherever and you ask for a curry, they'll just look at you weird because technically we invented the curry.
Technically, we didn't invent fucking anything, mate. If you take a look at the combination of everything, look at the state of it. Hey, look, you see those little What's the raptor fucking pose there? Leave the socks with the underwear alone. Everything that we have. Hey! Everything that we have is a combination of foreign stuff put together and we say it's British.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even like the drinks that we have, tea's traditionally, I don't think it's an Asian country made in a glass that's probably made in wherever. We put it together and say good British tea.
Where's this made?
China.
Is it China?
Yeah, right there at the bottom.
Yeah, there we go.
And what is it? You what car have you got?
Vauxhall.
And what country is that?
Technically, Vauxhall's British, but it's also under an alias name of Opel, which is German.
Right, so you drive a German car, right, on your way to where's your couch from? DFS. Where's DFS origins? What would that be?
American.
It's Sweden. Right, so go into a European couch to watch a TV made from where?
It's Samsung.
Samsung to go watch an American show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do we do that's actually British?
I don't know.
Exactly, mate. There is no such thing. It's a fucking myth.
True, but the only thing that we British, well, I won't say we, but the only thing we're British, no, I won't say only, but we are known for our Sunday lunch. We love our Sunday lunch. And we're the only country in the world to have millions of pubs. Everyone else has got bars or diners or whatever else. We've just got pubs.
Sunday lunch is derived from the Last Supper, which is a Jewish thing. We stole it from the Jews. There's your Sunday lunch. And pubs were taverns when we used to go do the watering holes, when we used to go do the, what was it called? Back in like towards 10, like 11, used to with the cross. Crusades? Again, from Middle East.
Well, I've got nothing then.
That's weird. Now it's derived from...
I'm British.
Yeah, the only thing I'll always argue is you know these divides where they say I'm half Welsh, I'm half thingy. You're not, right? If we're going to have borders, you're from the bit of rock that you're from. I don't understand this half. My dad's Scottish, right?
Yeah.
Was born in Scotland, don't speak Scottish, never lived in a Scottish city, never spent more than 2 days in a Scottish place. Oh, that's a lie, I used to go holiday all the time. But you know what I mean? Nothing I do is... So why do I say I'm half Scottish? Half my blood in my veins isn't going, no. Oh, I'm British again, English again, sorry. Oh, no. Like, you know, these Americans who go, oh, I'm Italian, you know, or I'm Irish. No, you're not. Your mum or your dad might have been, or you are not. You're from America.
Yes.
I've never understood that. You know, these people that try and say, I want that ancestry and I'm 2/4, 9th of a 10th African.
Get a drink, you weirdo.
Tell you what he's done. He's probably swallowed a bit of his fucking thingy.
Probably. Weirdo. Get a drink.
So yeah, it's not made sense. But anyway, we're done. We happy?
Well,
very good ramble on. Anything else you want to chuck on top of there?
I'm British, but apparently I have I'm half English, quarter Irish and quarter Scottish.
That's what I mean, it doesn't make sense. How does it make sense?
Because, I don't know how, but because, well, my granddad's Scottish.
Right.
And on my dad's side, that's my mum's side.
Yeah.
And on my dad's side, it's Irish in the family. And apparently, we're all Scotch travellers. We're gorgeous.
Gorgeous. But right, okay, so have you ever had a Scottish accent?
No.
Have you ever been a traveller?
No.
No, you're not. You're from the bit of rock that you're from.
Yeah.
Your ancestors may, because then you get to a fine line. You know the people that find out that their great-great-great-granddad was black and they get to start going around and...
Well, we are technically black.
Well, no, yeah, all of humanity come from Africa, right? Yeah. But I can't go around saying I'm happy. When you get in some horrible territory and some people try and do shit they shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah,
sorry.
Like say, I'm black.
I'm a white dude from Oxfordshire. My dad's Scottish. I'm not. It's fucking bizarre. And I don't even understand the thing anyway because we're all from the planet Earth. Only since we started putting borders and boundaries between everywhere, conflicts start to happen. And it just makes no sense. Like I said to you before, you didn't get the dinosaurs going, I am a Belgian dinosaur and I am a French dinosaur. Well, I'm a T-Rex and I'm very English.
I'm the French poodle.
You know what I mean, mate? You know,
they might roar differently.
Well, maybe. You know, if like like 2 birds pass in the sky, and these pigeons flew from...
Hello.
Yeah, they don't do that, do they? She's like, they carry on.
They might.
But yet we've got different tastes and different cultures and art and music and fashion and traditions.
Yeah, it's a weird one how we all started in one area, but we've ended up in all corners of the world with different colours, religions, languages, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Language itself's weird as well anyway. How we've had this conversation before about accents, about how that's gone Scousehard to Monkey when you're Manchester.
Yeah,
how
England is worse for the accents because there's that many compared to other countries.
And I brought it up as well with the same. There's a French person, which somebody actually did answer this question. It's yes. There's somebody from the south of France to have a different accent to the north of France. They might both say bonjour. One might go bonjour and one might go bonjour. You know what I mean? They do have different...
They have got an accent.
Yeah, they have their own...
So
they know you're... Oh, so a Frenchman can say, oh, you're from the north of France. And he can say, oh, you're from the south of France. And they probably take the piss out of each other like we do with Glaswegian or Why are you man or whatever.
Or people from the north who declare they're from the north.
Yeah, see, the north's always bothered me as well because Britain itself, I know it's another divide.
It's always a divide in the north.
Yeah, but to me, Carlisle and all this shit, Newcastle and Midlands, right? Because the proper north, like Game of Thrones, is Scotland. And I know, okay, but it's north.
Well, no, technically, north of Game of Thrones is technically Carlisle.
No, but
You stink.
Where the north is, the Starks, there's all that land. That's why that ginger girl says, you know nothing about the north.
All that is north, but the wall itself, it's obviously from Carlisle to Hexham.
Yeah, but that's just in one segregated area. To me, Britain, we're attached to each other. Or there isn't even a border like Mexico, America. It's there. It's all the same fucking bit to me. Yeah, but it's not a physical...
No, not like Mexico and America, no.
It's not like a fucking physical...
They're gonna be at some point, I reckon.
I don't know, mate.
Let's talk about it.
It's just weird. It baffles me.
Because if Scotland go back into the independence and we stay as we are, they're gonna put a border. So that's gonna be fun.
It's weird. But yeah, when you speak about England itself, Carlisle, Newcastle, all that shit is the north. Yeah. Not Manchester, Liverpool and all that shit. No. And they always go, I'm a proper northern lad, me. And you're like, well, because don't get us wrong, I ain't. I just live up here. But
I'm a northerner.
If you're in a city and you can go south for about 2 hours to another spot, you're not a northerner. All right, dog, calm down. We're not going to kill you yet for dinner.
I've got issues, like.
I think he wants that. He doesn't like shut doors.
He doesn't like shut doors.
Tell you what's a fucking nightmare. Right, Eddie used to be bad because obviously she was a lot bigger than him, but she shared the bed, so she sleeps wherever he wants. That was always a nightmare because as soon as she was comfy, that's my puppy. I'll be uncomfortable. Don't you worry. I'll get a bad back and sore knees. You're my puppy. You be comfortable. He's only a little dinky dog, so you got B, and then he'll squeeze in, and he's physically laid over my head, and I'm going to sleep like that, and then he'll stop and he'll move, and he will physically nudge my legs off the bed, so I'm laying here. That's my back, and I'm like that, and I have to put my feet on the floor and go like that and sleep like that.
You need a bigger bed.
We do, yeah, we do.
What's on hold with that? Any news with your job?
Job, they haven't got back to us. Everything was going so sound and so well, and they told them, I said, listen, I'm committed to move down to you, blah blah blah.
Where they at?
Newton Cliff, Darlington, about an hour away from Newcastle. Because not quite Darlington. No. Newton Cliff. I said I'm willing to either A, commute or B, move over there. Because B says, listen, I'll get a job transferred thingy.
I assume you get a double cost,
yeah. But just
commuting would take a while to get to.
No, I understand it would. It'll be a changeover of trains. It will take an hour and 45. But the job itself, because it will be setting up board games and whatnot, and doing the after work specials, it won't be a case of starting at 8, finishing at 5. It'll be, you might start at midday and finish at 8 at night or whatever because you're doing the games.
Yeah.
And we looked at the schedules and everything. If I was doing shit like that, I could physically make that trip every day. And the people that I was communicating with were happy to help me out to commute. And like I said, they watch a channel. They said we're ideal for what I want and all this kind of shenanigans. But then it sort of just went silent on their end. And I don't know whether they found somebody local that's like, oh, I can start right now and I live 2 minutes away. And that's like, that's more ideal for us. Because I'm not the only Pokemon freak out there that would have been excited about this kind of job. There would be plenty of others. And it might have been easier for them instead of having to wait on me and shenanigans. So as far as and they said we'll get back to you by the end of the week. And the last time I spoke to them was Wednesday evening. Well, no, sorry, Wednesday midday-ish.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not too bad then. It's only a couple of days.
Yeah, I know, but they said by the end of the week.
The end of the week is Saturday, Sunday.
Their working week is Monday to Friday. So I'm assuming now that it's...
Don't hang your ball up yet.
Oh, no, to be fair, though, to be fair to you, I'm not too bothered because I went for it and I was willing to jump straight into it head first. So if it turns out to fail, like that whole speech, you give me turn up, it's fine. I turned up, maybe didn't get it, it's fine, we'll on to the next one. I did my open Zoom call with Glasgow Art College. That's all fine and that. I can get accepted for the semester, it's a September term, get a master's in filming and directing and editing for films and shit. But I need to try and work out either to go part-time at my job and get the train up every day, move up there and get a part-time job.
Well, if you want to do these things, dude, you have to commit. No,
I'm not bothered about that. That's fine. It will take my 100%. I'm just a little fucking monkey boy.
Why?
Because to get a part-time job or whatever, to get into somewhere and do shit, I need to try and make sure I get the job. You see me rocking up with my fucking floppy balding hair. Why you beggars you? You're not going to give me the job. And I refuse to be anything but myself going into a job. So it's just like, ideally, if...
Most people like you just to be yourself, though.
No, yeah, they do, but then they're also like, hang on a sec, we're dealing with public. Can we let that anywhere near the public? And I'm like... You know what I mean? But I don't feel bad for it. But again, we'll see what happens with that. If I can make it work. If I could... This would never happen in a million years. They would never let me part-time at my spot.
Why not?
Not a chance. They need me there. Not to be up my own ass. They need me there constantly.
Well, why don't you try and find another part-time job?
No, that's what the plan is. So that's part B of this potential art college thingy. So that's still an ongoing process. I'm looking everywhere. I'm trying everything. But again, it's part-time September, so I could do full-time. But then I'll say, but can I start part-time in September? Or I do full-time, then leave a place, or stay here, then leave here and get a part-time in September. But I need to make sure all the time flows and works. So make sure, because I'll be losing money, and I then have to also pay for stuff to go up here. I need to make sure that's financially viable.
Well, why don't you just stay where you are for now, and then when it comes to part-time in September, you just go to Guyz or Guyz or something.
So, you could do. I could easily do that. But again, I need to make sure, because I'll be buying train tickets and whatnot. I'll be buying stuff from classes and courses. To make sure everything's financially viable.
For us, McVitie's is not bad pay. How about the biscuit factory people? McVitie's is not bad pay, to be fair. I lasted 6 years there. It's like a part-time, depending on what your hours are with college. Just when it comes to college or school or stuff like that, they are understandable.
Yeah, alright. See, yeah, these people were spot on. They did say we would, accommodate your classes for when you're working and stuff. But like I said, it's part B now. Part A is knowing that I can get in it. I can start doing it. They've accepted me because you don't need to go in with any degrees or whatever. You go in, and I'll be...
Have they said what days or what hours you'd be in?
No, because I need to work out in September of 2022. Because I went for September, so I had plenty of time to try and weave a way in. And then thingy, and then, yeah. But like I said, it's obviously because we had this big old talk. I said to you, we don't have to sit. I'm working it. That's why I'm working on this office crack, because maybe this takes off. We can actually have a good looking podcast that takes off on Spotify or Twitch or whatever. And I can tell my stories and my anecdotes on there. That's why everybody this all constantly, when we be in that sleep, I'm getting even less sleep than usual, because I'm just applying here, applying there, working on this, thinking, is this a good day? Can I try this? Can I try that? Putting my name out everywhere to try and make this, ideally, because if I could have one thing to succeed, it would be this. I guess we'll see. I'm trying, I'm doing my shit.
I know, you've got a lot of shit going on, haven't you?
Well, there's, like I said, it's so easy to come in and go, it's a busy day at work, kettle on, a bed. You know what I mean? No, that's wasting time. I need to be, I'm 28, and like I said, life isn't guaranteed, mate. You could be dead tomorrow, I could be dead next week.
Yeah, I'm 33.
Follow me, mate.
34 in the middle of the year.
You try and you do what you can. I've made some unreal memories in my childhood, in college, and all that kind of shit. And a few dossiers at work, and they work for and that, because it wasn't exactly hard. But then I'm just thinking, just start doing shit for you, Dan, and start doing what you want to do. And like I said, it might take, I haven't got all the patience in the world. It might take a year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. But as long as I know I'm trying to make strides, I'd be happy. Even if all of it, everything failed, I would still be happy knowing I tried to make strides. And if it all failed for whatever reason, that's fine. At least I didn't just shit on my ass and go, I'd love to do that. What's on next? Which I do anyway, don't get me wrong. I still make sure I've got time for my shows and shit because it sounds stupid because it's watching a show, but my shows and films, as you know, is a big part of my life. I love storytelling, it's amazing, and I love talking to you about it. So I make sure I've got time for that. That's why less sleep and more trying to sort shit out. I don't know if you've made any strides anywhere doing anything.
Not really. I'm looking for jobs, trying to cut my hours down completely because I can't work 60 hours a day.
You need more you time than that. Did you know Belgium have made it a law now that an employer cannot contact their employee outside of work about work? It's illegal. Hope he's back.
Should do that, yeah. Sweden, you only work 4 days a week over there. And Netherlands. Netherlands is meant to be the happiest country in the world, isn't it?
But all of us lot in Britain just want more money, our bosses. More money, more money. Work. But now B's back. We'll leave it there. Visuals could probably get loud. But thank you for listening. Chris B can say hi and bye.
Hi.
And bye.
Bye.
Because we're ending. Well, watch Dog's been at your knicks all night. Your knicks have been mentioned quite a lot. Visuals, keep it yogi, we'll keep it on.
That's always love you, bye.